And if you want to keep in touch as to what I'm posting, just stay subscribed, guys. You'll always get my latest videos. Yeah. I still have to get used to that. Anyways, what did we talk about yesterday? Percentile rank. What is a percentile rank? If I said Sisler scores among the 70th percentile when it comes to the provincial exam mark. 70th percentile, you're thinking, what does that mean? Other schools, like 70% of schools are below us, yes. So the higher your percentile ranking, the higher you are compared to everybody else. 100 would be ideal, but we can't have 100, right? We cannot have 100. Okay, go to 56, and then you'll do the AC after I do a couple of examples. So using the following, you guys got your booklets, 56. Chemistry test, mark of 72. What's the percentile rank for a 72 score? You want B and N, right? This is arranged, I don't know if you noticed it. It is arranged this way. 72 is right there. So I want everything that's less than these are the scores, right, below 72. So you have to count how many, okay? So this is 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18. So I've got 18 scores below 72. I'm guessing it's percent, right? And how many are there in total? 4 times 2, 4, 6, 8. So 32, right? Switch over to pencil here. So percentile rank is 18 over 32 times 100. That's the formula, right? This one. If you weren't here yesterday, this is the formula for percentile rank. And when you do that, you get 56.25. What's wrong with that? There are 2 things wrong with this. What's the first mistake? Percent and decimals. 2 things that are wrong right there. So you can't have this, okay? This is wrong. So don't do percentage. You just say 57th percentile. Okay? Or just 57, that's fine. Just whole number. Okay? So no decimals. No percentage. One more time, okay? So there's these types of questions where every single value is presented, but then there's this one here. Kadisha recently ran a marathon with 350 competitors, including herself. So this is total, right? Total, which is our N value. 313 people finished slower than her. What is her percentile rank when it comes to time? Percentile rank, 313, right? This is B over 350. And when you do that, you get 89.42, and that keeps going actually. So we're going to go 90th percentile. Okay, what does that mean? 90% of participants, right, runners, are slower than her. Do we know her actual time? No. And in this case, we would not be able to find out because we don't have that information. We just know how many were there in total, how many were below. Okay. Keep going. I want you to I'm gonna skip a few pages. I want you to go to 63. Yeah, I know. Why am I doing that? I have a reason to my madness. So 63 looks like this. Tables. The province does like their tables, okay? An outdoor sport, 63. Outdoor sporting goods store in Fort McMurray sells different sizes of gloves. The table indicates a number of pairs in each size. Donette bought herself 7.5 gloves, like size 7.5. What is the percentile rank of her hand size? How would you do this one? This is the size right here. Okay, that's her size. We want 6.5 and 7, right? How many were sold of those? We've got 25 and 10, right? Pairs sold. So how many gloves were sold that are smaller than her size? 10 plus 25, right? Like it's these two. Can we include the 57? No, because that is the exact size, 7.5. You don't want to include that. How many are there in total? You simply add up all the pairs that were sold. So I'm going to go total here is 153. Okay, 153 sold in total. That is what goes down here. And then we multiply that by 100. Obviously, you want to do the top first there, right? So that'd be 35 over 153 times 100. That gets you to 22.87, and that keeps going. But you can't have that, so you go 23rd. Percentile. So is her hand size pretty big? No, because only 23% of people have a shorter hand size, smaller hand size. So it's actually not that big of a size compared to everybody else, that is. Okay. What about Donette bought her son 9 gloves, a size 9 gloves. What's the percentile rank of her son's size? Please try that real quick. See if you can get that. All right, let's see here. Nine is right here, size 9. The easiest part would be for me 153 minus 8. You get that trick, right? Take away the 8 from 153, because then you're technically adding all of this. Sorry, times 100. I forgot to do that part. And so you end up with 145 over 153. That's 94.77. So that's 95th percentile. Who has the bigger hand size? The sun, right? Based on this data, the sun is like 95% of people have a smaller hand size, okay? Glove size. Explain why percentile rank can never be 100 or greater. So if I'm wondering how many people are short, so this is the class size, right? Am I shorter than myself? Can't say that, right? I'm part of the data set. So you can't, this is my answer, you can't have 100% of data shorter or below U, right? That's the main reason why that doesn't work. So whatever your score is, you can't have 100% because you're part of that data set. So I will add to this. Since you are included in the set, that is probably worth mentioning. Since you are included in the set, you can't have 100% being shorter than you. It would be 99%. Would be the biggest, the most you can have, 99th percentile. What would be the mode in this case? What's the mode of sizes? Which one was sold the most? That's what you got to look at. 7.5, right? 57 pairs were sold of that size. So size, I'm going to go back down here. Size 7.5, because there are 57 pairs sold. And getting ready for the AC here. E. Add E to this. Determine the mean pairs sold. The mean number of pairs, that is. Using the table up there, could you do that right now? You can use your neighbor to help you with this. The mean number of pairs sold. This is weighted mean. This goes back to yesterday. You came up, I just thought of doing this right now. So the very first step is, oh, why is it frozen? There you go, let it go. You caught it. So the first thing you need to do is multiply across, right? And those answers are right here. You can see them. I multiplied everything out, and then I'm adding. So at the very least, you should always be able to get to this point. Now is what do I divide by? Yeah, it's 1174. It doesn't look like it, or what? Okay, so then you have to ask yourself, what do I divide by? So you're going to go, you multiplied size times pairs every time. What is this question asking for? The mean number of pairs, okay? So you want that to stay, so you have to go up there to your table and get the sum of all the sizes and cancel that out, okay? So when you add up all the sizes, what do you get? 46.5. Okay? It's weird. I know it's a decimal. But you put it, you just go here, 46.5. And what do you get? 25.25 pairs. Because this is the average, it's fine to state it as a decimal. So on average, you're selling about 25 pairs in this scenario. Okay? All right, before we move on, 64. If I asked you one last time, percentile rank, this is going to be on the quiz, so you got to be ready for it. If I gave you a table like that, you're going to be thinking, oh, this is weighted mean, but just wait. What does it ask for? No, not this one, sorry. Can I rewrite this question? Cross it. Okay. I will say this. Determine the percentile rank of if his income is 35,000. Okay, so determine the percentile rank for Damapreet if his income is $35,000. Could you answer this? 2 marks, by the way. This question would be worth 2 marks, okay? So you do it yourselves right now. Don't look at your neighbors, just pretend like this is an AC. Could you do that? Second percentile. It's about the middle of the pack, right? Close to the median. What percentile rank does the median have? 50. Median is 50. 50% below, and therefore 50% above. Okay? All right, we're ready for the AC, I think. Or do you want to try one more weighted mean? One more weighted mean. I'll let you do one more weighted mean. So read the question below here. What does it say? Review. Calculate the average income using the table above. I wish I wouldn't have put the weighted mean on there because then it gives it away. But anyways, that is a weighted mean question. Figure out the average income. And I will put the answer here shortly. I won't solve it. I'll just give you the answer here shortly so you can compare. So go. So here we go. So grab a pen or a marker and just mark it. See how you did. So the very first one, to be honest, I always think a median should be a 2-mark question, especially if you have to find it between 2, but the province says it's only 1 mark to find the median, even if you have to arrange. So I arranged. Some of you probably didn't bother calculating, but there's 12 values, so that's even. So you need to go 12 divided by 2, it's 6, right? So we add the 6th and the 7th, which both are 17. So we are not surprised that 17 beetles is the answer there. For your average, you add up all the numbers, divided by 12, 14.83 beetles. 1 mark there. Mode, it's very easy to see that it's 20. So 1 mark for that as well. And it says, which measure of central tendency do you think? What's measure of central tendency? That would be your mean, okay, median, and mode. Okay, so those are the measures, and they all try to see what's more common, right, or what's the central, the middle. The median is the best one since there are 2 low outliers. I don't know if you noticed that. The 2 and the 3 are very low compared to everything else. So mean is not a good idea, right? And they skew the mean to the low end. So I'm kind of sticking with the median there. Mode is also not good because it involves the highest value, right? So the highest of the range. So 1 mark for that explanation. This one I didn't even check, to be honest. One second. So if you did the math on the side, I don't know, but what you can always do that. I won't know if you actually calculated it, but it will go up the mean will go up if I trim it, since the two lowest values are outliers. Like these are significantly lower than everything else, especially the very lowest one. Yeah. Right. So this is what I got when I did the, what is the other one called? The non-trimmed arithmetic mean. I like the new terminology. The 66.08, and so it did go up. So yeah, do it. Like if the province, they just want to know like what is the reasoning behind it. So if you do trim it, right, you're trimming it. It says lowest two, highest two. So you're trimming 4 values. Then it's just 563 divided by 8. So it's basically the mean of what's left over. How do I mark this? How do we mark this? We essentially give you 1 mark for each correct entry. That's usually how it goes. Okay. So let's say you went 563 divided by 12. You get 1 out of 2. Okay. Or if you add up all of them, but you have an 8 in the bottom, you still get 1 out of 2. So that's how we mark that. And percentage, I just assumed because it's the marks obtained in their quizzes, I should have said percentage. So technically, if you left the units out, you're fine, okay? Because I didn't tell you what it was. So this is worth 7 marks. Okay. The back, your favorite, right? Brought to you by Essential Math, right? The first part is the math part. So you notice that there's 2 different categories. So you multiply, you add. That should be the 303. So I would say you get 1 mark for the 303. Okay, and then you have to decide which row in this case. It could be a column, right? It could be a vertical table. Which one am I going to add up and divide? And I did my unit analysis on the side here. I multiply people and households the whole time. I want people to stay because that's what it says, the mean number of people per household, right? So that's what gave it away. So I want people to stay. I have to divide by households. So I add up my households. And if you think about it, what are my people, the range of people from 1 to 6? So your number should be somewhere in there, okay? Another mark for doing the 95 and obviously getting that right answer. 2 marks there. This one, Dina did better than 395 of students, so 395 divided by 483 times 100, you get that. You can't have it. You have to go 82. What's that? You can round down, as long as it's rounded. Today just minus half, but in real, like on the exam, it'd be -1. I know it pains me to do that. Okay, this one, let's cover this up first. Let's just think about what does percentile rank tell us. 95 percentile means that 95% of the people that were there. Oh wait, did better. You're not ready for this yet. Okay, I forgot that. So you figure out how many did lower. 458 to 459 are lower. So you subtract that from the total to get above. We'll just scrap this one. Yeah.
I did something different, but I got the same answer.
So you got 459? No, well, the reason 459 is incorrect, go ahead, because it's asking how many did better. Yeah. It would be 24. Did you subtract this? You subtract that from 83. If you did that, yeah. 24, 25.
So if I did it and I got it right, can I have it as a bonus mark?
Sure, let's do bonus plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. Okay, so I'm wrong here. As long as you know that I'm wrong right now, I haven't answered the question. So it would be 483 minus either one of them. This is 25, right? 25 or 24 people did better. I didn't read this. Shame on me. I always tell you to read your questions carefully. I thought I had the key, but I couldn't find it, so I had to whip one up while you were doing yours. So that means that this backside is technically worth 3, right? Because we're not counting this one. So the backside is 3, and then you potentially you can score 4 out of 3 on the backside if you did it right. If you did it right, way to go, guys. So that means that this is out of 10. This is out of 10 in total, right? 7 and 3. So you could score 11 out of 10 if you did this right. I'm just gonna stop there.